this VOD review, we're going to be playing against an Ahri player, and the first piece of this video has been cut off. So we're joining the game after resolving mulligans, determining who goes first, and we are playing first, and our first turn was a turn 1 merchant. Their first turn 1 play was find your center, and we're picking the game up from here. So in hand we have Poro, Cleave, Kaiser, and Ride the Wind. We draw into Flash for our second turn. So the first thing we're looking to do is get rid of this Poro. Or Kaiser. No, we'll see. No, Poro. So we're getting rid of the small units. We draw into a second Kaiser, which isn't great. But we can probably ditch that off the Zorn. Yep, there we go. And now what we're looking to do is set up our next turn play, which is just Kaiser and pass. Find your center from them turn 1 is really, really good because they're not developing a board presence, and Zhonya's, we love to see Zhonya's. Orb. Orb's an interesting choice. We don't really see Ahri players play Orb that much. And then developing sports here, developing the blue Ahri from hand seems to be a mistake. You should always develop your champ zone champ first, conceal cards in your hand and make it less obvious what you have. So now I know that they're one card less in hand and they're still in the same board position. So playing out these little things like orbs and masks and Zhonya's and that kind of thing doesn't impact the board immediately, and it's more of a late game kind of play, which feeds right into our strategy of getting points as fast as we can. Alright, so back to our turn. We move in for the extra points. You'll notice here that we are on odd point parity, so the points 2 to 3 doesn't really mean much, but getting an extra card from Kaiser is super helpful, so that's why we take the point here. And we take this opportunity to remove any board presence that they've got. Falling Star the Ahri, we have a quick discussion here. The opponent not understanding how the reflexive triggers work on the Falling Star, and the Ahri still dies. So we resolve that. But yeah, at this point, all we're kind of worried about is their accelerate creatures, because that's or their accelerate units. That's what's going to get them back in the game, right? So we're thinking Sprite Mother, Tasty Tree Folk, and Watcher. When combined with the Orb, can deal a bunch of damage or take out our units really easy. So let's go back there. What do? We stack deck, I think. And we see Ride Poro. We definitely don't need the Poro, so it's an easy ride choice. We could probably do with one extra unit, but we always have Annie out of the champ zone if we ever need it. We're ditching the second ride because we don't need 2, and we can always get 1 back with Annie. And now we're in a really, really good spot. All we really need to close the game out is like Darius or Vi, and we save our Kaiser here with Flash. Opponent develops an Ahri to base. Okay, so in terms of sequencing here, we want to definitely move Merchant this turn and filter our hand a bit more if we can. We have Flash, Poro, and I can't remember what the other one was. Let's go back and just double check it. Poro, Kaiser, Flash. So yeah, we don't need more units, so we just take the Flash. Try and dodge something if we get blown out by disciplines on guards and that kind of thing. The next thing we want to do is draw a card, and then we want to start filtering. So drawing into Falling Star is awesome. we have backline reach, and I think if we falling star their backline here, we can just close the game out. So fight or flight, and then we obviously want to ditch this sneaky. We want to get rid of the units. And there's our Darius to close it out. So I don't think that we're worried about anything here. We can just flash our units back into a Watcher and then Darius cleave in over it and win back next turn. So Watcher's not going to do it for them either now. We take the opportunity to get rid of the Ahri, just reducing their options really, and he scoops it up. So pretty straightforward game one, nothing too interesting there. I think if you're playing the Ahri lists that are developing those Zhonyas and orbs and masks and stuff to base early instead of making early turn one plays, then you're in a really good spot. It's the problems come when it's like Raven Bloom and Clockwork and units come out first, followed by the kind of end game cards like Mask and that after that. So yeah, this list may not be the Ahri list that gives us the most trouble, but if it's a typical Ahri list that you see, that game one was fairly straightforward. Alright, quick sideboard, in go the Gusts, and outcome I think it was like a Foff and a Poro. And he wants us to play first. So I put our Dreaming Tree thinking we were going second. If we knew we were going to go first, we would probably play the arenas, but he wants us to go first. So we're getting rid of Vayne. There's an argument here to get rid of Darius as well. Probably don't want to see a second Darius, but that sneaky's awesome. Some draw for us. To hit 2 points next turn. First turn play is more of this stuff that doesn't really impact the board straight away, which is some right. So okay, so here obviously ditch the second unit. We don't need another unit, and sneaky to the other battlefield. Straight away to 2 points. We stack deck here on our turn because they have no units and they're not going to contest. So we're not going to get a showdown to play it. So we may as well use it now. We take the Vi. We don't need the Void Seeker or Sneaky Deckhand. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to taking Void Seeker in case they do something like Sprite Mother and try and contest that way, but we don't have enough runes to pay for it this turn anyway, so we're just looking straight for the end game with Vi Ride, and we're gonna get the pieces of that puzzle ASAP. What's opponent's turn to play? Ahri to base. Looks good. Alright, so we take the 2 freebies, come back with a merchant, discard the Poro, and there's a falling star. We have an option here to just falling star the Ahri, but we're so far ahead in tempo, we can do this at any time. I think it's correct to either I was going to say develop the Darius or the Vi, but it's probably just the Darius because we still don't know if they're playing Charms or not, and Charms the only real threat against playing our Vi out early. The first game was pretty quick, so we'll play it safe. Play Darius and pass. Let the Sona. All right. So we have a choice here. The left battlefield, so Dreaming Tree's free. The right battlefield, we're walking into. I think from what I can see under this little bar, my opponent only has 1 card, but we're walking into any sort of combat trick here. We've got so discipline into something else like guard or whatnot. That'd be the thing that we're worried about. The opponent gets to save one with Zhonya's. It's not really too much we're worried about here. So going left first might be correct. If we need to filter our hand, we've got two cleaves. But the priority is just like what I'm trying to say is you've got to pick your time to challenge the Ahri player into Ahri triggers and both a legend and a champ zone champ. But it looks like because the opponent doesn't really have the potential to do too much right now, it's just now. Like if his hand was stocked with a bunch of stuff, I would just take the left battlefield um and be happy with that. But because we know that he's got like almost no gas left, that we just make the challenge right now. So Darius, I can go in. I mark it up to 10, thinking for some reason that was the second spell because I'm just used to Darius cleave. He corrects me here and we fix this up, and then I think I end up having to play the second cleave. So this is a play mistake by me, but I think the intent is still the right intent is just to get these two units off the battlefield. So one thing I do here is I move in first and then play the second cleave to get the ready so that I can come back if I need to. Just a minor thing, but useful little trick to know. So Darius is at 13 because Trifarian's +1 and then Ahri -1, and then we get a -2 Ahri trigger down to 11. It's just enough to clear through our discipline. That's smokescreen. So this comes out of nowhere. I completely overlooked the thought of them playing smokescreen since just focused on the green cards, and I didn't see any smokescreens game one. So this is kind of a blowout. So here I just take down the Ahri because if I go in again, it just gets more triggers, and then I'll use the falling star to finish off the Sona here. Alright, we take 2 battlefields. Ditch the ride. And be happy with the ride the wind Vi next turn. So we're still one energy off being able to any back the ride and then Vi ride. But the opponent also has to clear us off both of these. Comes in with Ahri. Now the question here is, do we flash both or flash one? So if we flash one, he needs to have a Sprite Mother or something to get me off the other one, so I could just leave it. But because we're at 6, we still need to score both next turn, so I'm just taking the opportunity to get a draw. We have to discard draw the merchant because it moves. So the opponent's taking notes on something off to the side. Pass. So bye. Alright, so let's see if we can find something with the merchant move to get them off the other battlefield. So we ditched the second fire. We don't need that. We straight into a FOF, which is perfect. Get out of there. Push the Ahri back. We go in with deckhand. He uses Foxfire, and then so we can accelerate our Kaiser. Pretty clean in terms of not really too much to worry about there. Like nothing from our opponent that caused us too much trouble. This list that they're playing is something that we want to see. We want to see orbs. The masks are really good. The orbs are a bit too slow, in my opinion. And you can see in that game that they actually didn't kill any units at all. So 2 blank cards on their side for this matchup. I did then go on to play this opponent a couple more times, and the games went very, very similarly. So you could see the matchup, the Ahri matchup is quite easy, but there is a variant of this that is quite difficult. So for the most part, it's an easy matchup. I haven't been able to find another one of the tempo Ahri lists getting around the servers. So if I can find one of the players in our play group that play that into us and I can record some games, I will get that back to you so you get a bit of a different perspective on the Ahri matchup. But for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward game. Cheers, hope you got something out of this video, and catch you in the next one.